Welcome to Tampa, Florida in June of 2023. Hey everyone, I'm Patrick from Oakland Travel. We are sitting on board the helipad on the Serenade of the Seas. You can see the disturbance there in the water at the bottom of the frame. We have just dropped the lines and pushed away from the dock, and we are heading down into Tampa Bay and then eventually out into the Gulf of Mexico and then on down to Key West, Florida, which is our first little stop on this 5-night cruise in the summer of 2023. And a couple of people there on the dock, kind of right in the center next to that car, that are kind of seeing us off, waving at us a little bit. Interesting little viewing platform over there at Terminal Number 3 in Tampa. I guess it's like a little elevated part of the thing where you can go up on the roof and you can walk right up on the roof and essentially see, like, and wave and say goodbye to people as they're going off on the cruise. Right here, you see what I'm pointing at. What I'm trying to kind of point out there with my hand, there's a huge hotel in downtown Tampa, kind of right around the corner, and they have a live webcam, a PTZ webcam on top of that hotel, and the camera points down the kind of the crosswalk here, the crossway here. And so whenever you're looking at the webcam from that on top of that hotel, you can see Terminal Number 2 at Tampa. And if there's a ship that was docked at Terminal 3, as they're making their way out, the ship kind of comes across the view of the camera. So I was, when I was narrating this and recording the video, I was attempting to explain that. So that's why my hand was sort of moving all over the place. There is the Grandeur of the Seas. They are docked over at Terminal Number 2. So if you had been looking at the camera at this time on this Saturday in June, you would have seen the Grandeur sitting there. And then, of course, we're coming along behind it as we're heading out into Tampa Bay. So it's a beautiful day, very, very hot, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon right here, 4:30, something like that. Middle of the summer, Tampa, Florida. You can imagine. If you're going to be out on this helipad here, you need that sunblock on, you need your sun hat on, etc. So it was definitely hot. Have that water handy. But perfect little 5-night cruise. It goes over to Key West, Florida, and then over to Royal Caribbean's private island in the Bahamas. Perfect day at Coco Cay. Very popular with a lot of families. There were so many kids on this cruise. A lot of families that were traveling together. A lot of really large groups that we noticed where, man, in some cases, 20, 30, 40, 50 people that seems like, or more, that kind of knew each other and were traveling in large groups. So just one of those things, I guess, a perfect time to go cruising for a lot of people that are normally in school, because June 17th, 2023, when this cruise embarked, they would have been out for the summer. So it's kind of the perfect time to just go on a quick little, relatively inexpensive 5-night cruise. And Key West is an excellent destination because a lot of things to do in Key West. They have a lot of water activities that you can do. You can also just get off the ship and go down to Mallory Square, Duval Street, a lot of famous restaurants down there. Sloppy Joe's Bar is down there. That's where we ended up having kind of a, quote, early dinner. So a lot of good things to do in Key West. And then, of course, Royal Caribbean's private island, perfect day at Coco Cay. There's tons of stuff to do there. I'm putting this video together in September of 2023, and Royal Caribbean has recently announced Hideaway Bay. And so it's a new expansion that's going to be 18 plus, coming to another part of the private island over there at Perfect Day. And so they're adding even more sort of reasons to visit the island. And most of the cruises that go out of Florida, out of Tampa, well, not necessarily out of Tampa, but especially out of Port Canaveral, Miami, and Fort Lauderdale, the Royal Caribbean cruises that go out of there, almost every single one of those itineraries stop at Perfect Day Coco Cay. And of course, that's by design, because they're making the private island so attractive for an itinerary because there's so many things to do on the island. And this new Hideaway Bay that they just announced is going to debut in January of 2024, which happens to be perfect for the timing of the launch of the Icon of the Seas, which is also coming out in January 2024. And it just so happens that we're going to be on Allure of the Seas in January 2024, right at the end of the month. Primarily, we're doing that because I wanted to go to Nassau because I wanted to see the new cruise terminal over there in Nassau. And I found a little 4-night option on the Allure of the Seas that not only goes to Nassau, but it also stops at Perfect Day. And that was before I knew about Hideaway Bay coming out. So it's gonna be an awesome cruise then.